Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're demystifying a hardworking pioneer of early internet routing, the Routing Information Protocol, or as we all know it, REP. If you spent any time studying network architecture, you've definitely crossed paths with this one. I mean, for years, it was literally the backbone of how networks communicated. We're going to break down exactly how it works, how it evolved, and ultimately why modern networks had to leave it in the dust. Let's jump right in with the big question. When you send data across a massive maze of routers, how does it actually find the best path? It doesn't just guess, right? And it certainly doesn't wander around aimlessly. It relies on a very specific set of rules to map out the entire journey before the data ever leaves the starting line. Which brings us to Section 1, Meet the Routing Protocol. To really understand how this interior gateway protocol ticks, we have to look at its core logic, the distance vector algorithm. Powered by the Bellman-Ford algorithm, it calculates the absolute shortest path based entirely on hop count. It's just counting the number of routers a packet crosses. That's it. It completely ignores how fast or slow those actual connections are. For RIP, the path with the fewest routers is the winner every single time. And that perfectly sets up Section 2, the 15 hop limit. So RIP operates on this brilliantly simple but incredibly strict rule of 15. That number is the absolute maximum limit of router hops a packet is allowed to make. When RIP calculates the distance to a destination, if the tally hits 15 hops, boom, end of the line. Because of that hard boundary, if a destination is 16 hops away, RIP treats it as an unreachable void. No joke, you could have a perfectly functioning router sitting right there at hop 16, but to RIP, it just doesn't exist. It's a massive blind spot, and it's a huge reason why this protocol just couldn't scale for massive global networks. Now, to keep track of these hops, routers using RIP broadcast or multicast their entire routing tables to all their neighbors every 30 seconds. Just imagine standing in a crowded room and shouting your entire address book to everyone around you every half minute, even if absolutely nothing changed. Sure, it ensures everyone has the latest data, but man, it generates a ridiculous amount of repetitive background traffic.
Let's move on to Section 3, Evolution from RIP v1 to RIP ND.
As the internet blew up, RIP had to grow up with it. Engineers didn't just toss it out immediately, they forced it to adapt. RIP v1 kicked things off with basic classful addressing and those loud broadcast updates we just talked about. Then came a pretty massive upgrade with RIP v2, which brought in classless CIDR, subnet masks, and some absolutely crucial security authentication. And finally, RIP NG rolled out to extend all those capabilities to fully support modern IPv6 networks. Which naturally brings us to our final chapter, Section 4, Why RIP Faded Away. So, despite being incredibly easy to set up for small networks, RIP hides a fatal trade-off: notoriously slow convergence times. For simple setups, yeah, it's a breeze. But when a physical link goes down, relying on those 30-second interval updates means it takes a painfully long time for the rest of the network to actually realize, hey, this path is broken. And that slow convergence, it can trigger a completely devastating digital black hole known as a routing loop, or what network engineers playfully call counting to infinity. Since routers only know what their direct neighbors tell them, a dropped link can cause two routers to endlessly bounce outdated path info back and forth. They just keep bumping the hop count higher and higher until it hits that magic unreachable number of 16. To stop these disastrous loops from bringing the whole network down, admins were basically forced to act. They had to heavily layer on complex mitigation techniques, like split horizon and route poisoning, just to keep things stable. So what started as this beautiful, straightforward routing system suddenly needed all this intricate micromanagement just to keep from collapsing on itself. Ultimately, it comes down to this. RIP blindly counts hops. It doesn't care about modern, high-speed needs. Think about it. If a one-hop path is a super slow legacy connection, but a three-hop path is a blazing fast fiber optic line, RIP is going to stubbornly choose that slow single hop every single time. Modern link state protocols like OSPF intelligently factor in things like bandwidth and latency, which makes them the obvious choice for large enterprise setups. So I'll leave you with this final thought as you continue diving into network architecture. As our digital world grows infinitely more complex and relies on lightning-fast enterprise systems, is there still a future for the sheer, raw simplicity of protocols like RIP? Or are intelligent link state protocols like OSPF destined to rule the internet forever? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep exploring the incredible architecture that keeps us all connected.
Thanks for watching.